Yesterday in Congress, we had the debate on the Green New Deal, and we got to see two approaches to whether we are going to do something about the single greatest threat facing our civilization and our species. On the one hand, you had Republicans showing photos of Luke Skywalker riding tauntauns and telling you the solution to climate change is to have more babies. And at some point, Ronald Reagan was riding a velociraptor. And then on the other hand, you had AOC saying this.
The concern of the environment as an elitist concern. 1 year ago, I was waitressing in a taco shop in downtown Manhattan. I just got health insurance for the first time a month ago. This is not an elitist issue. This is a quality of life issue. You want to tell people that their concern and their desire for clean air and clean water is elitist? Tell that to the kids in the South Bronx, which are suffering from the highest rates of childhood asthma in the country. Tell that to the families in Flint, whose kids have their blood is ascending in lead levels. Their brains are damaged for the rest of their lives. Call them elitist. You're telling them that those kids are trying to get on a plane to Davos? People are dying. They are dying. And the response across the other side of the aisle is to introduce an amendment 5 minutes before a hearing in a markup. This is serious. This should not be a partisan issue. This is about our constituents and all of our lives. Iowa, Nebraska, broad swaths of the Midwest are drowning right now, underwater. Farms, towns that will never be recovered and never come back. And we're here and people are more concerned about helping oil companies than helping their own families? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is about our lives. This is about American lives. And it should not be partisan. Science should not be partisan. We are facing a national crisis. And if we do not ascend to that crisis, if we do not ascend to the levels in which we were threatened at the Great Depression, when we were threatened in World War II, if we do not ascend to those levels, if we tell the American public that we are more willing to invest and bail out big banks than we are willing to invest in our farmers and our urban families, then I don't know what we're here doing. I don't know what we're here doing.
I mean, look, there's more to it and you should watch all of it. There's another segment where she talks about how people say, oh, how are you gonna pay for this? And she talks about how much we're gonna end up paying, breaks down the cost argument and the fallacies around that so perfectly. I loved everything that she said there, and everything she said there was true. It is still, people still act as if it's just Al Gore flying around. That's who cares about climate change.
Talking heads on Fox News, political pundits, conservative politicians, anybody who's been obsessed with AOC for the past few months and mock how stupid she is, young, inexperienced, and head in the clouds that you keep saying that she is. Play that.
Yeah.
Play her entire thing, and then you break down. Laura Ingraham, on your show, play that and talk about how stupid she is. Mm-hmm. Hey, talk about how she has things prepared for her and other people are feeding her information, Brian Kilmeade. Go on there and talk about how, hey, you know what, someone fed that to her. Someone said that to her, didn't they? Tell me how she read that from a piece of paper. Were those prepared remarks?
Nope.
From the podium with one of those stupid sticks that look like, one of those stupid microphones look like sticks in your pocket? Mm-hmm. Was that prepared and put together as a political statement to try and convince people of something that isn't real?
Yeah.
Tell me how that's not authentic and how that's not the reality. And you know what? Answer the question. Find out if you're willing to say to those kids that are dying and have different levels of asthma and actually have health problems that you don't care about how they're elitist. Answer the question. They're gonna ignore this part, but I guarantee you heard it because you're obsessed with everything else that she says.
Yeah, there was no teleprompter there. That was her, authentic, passionate, and informed on the issue. She goes on to say on Twitter, 3,000 Americans died in Hurricane Maria. The Midwest is drowning as we speak. Hundreds of Flint families were pumped with poisoned water, and our water infrastructure is imperiled across the country. GOP thinks this is a joke. They choose to laugh and delay. We choose to lead. And yeah, so they're printing out memes. They're spending your taxpayer dollars to print memes instead of actually addressing these problems, these environmental issues that are not a joke. And they're not a problem for 75 years from now. And we just talked about earlier this week, or might have been last week, air pollution already kills millions of people across the world every single year. That's already. The fires, the flooding, all of that. That is not a problem for someday. It's not for 75 years from now. The 12-year thing that we talk about, that's not when it becomes a problem. That's a sort of window we have to do something about it. It is a problem today. We are flooding today. We are on fire today. So I'm glad that she has the urgency needed. And by the way, look at how she's pitched when she delivers those remarks that have gone wild across the internet because of how passionate and authentic they are. She was described as flipping out by the New York Post. Yeah. And as Mimi Rocca says, women flip out, but men have passion, determination, and strength, which is what I see here from AOC. So again, as you were pointing out, the lies and ridiculous characterizations from people like Laura Ingraham, she still has to deal with that, even at her greatest moment. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.